Morning, my dear children. Welcome back to our English classroom. This is Shilpa ma'am. Okay, I hope you learned the structure of English tenses very clearly in the last module. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the active voice and passive voice. How to transform the statement from active voice to passive voice. It's very easy for us, those who know the structure of the tense form clearly. Okay, so that's why I told you that you have to learn the structures of the three tenses. So before introducing passive voice and active voice, or active voice and passive voice, let us know about the verb. Verb is an action or doing something. Today I'm going to discuss about a rare topic. That is the first introductory part of you of today. That is the verb forms. Okay, the properties of verb. Okay, so properties of verb means sometimes the verb has to change their forms. The verb has to change their forms. So let us see what are the properties of verb. Okay, this is the right topic. Sometimes only the people you are bothered about, you are aware of this topic. Okay, anyway, I am going to discuss about the properties of verb. Verb at first, it is an action. We already know that. Yes, it is obviously it is an action. Okay, second one is properties of verb. Properties of verb, which includes mood, voice, tense, person, and number. Okay, so in this we are going to discuss about the voice. Okay, then how it applies. It applies only in transitive verb. My God, what? The voice only it applies in transitive verb. Then this is my next question. Do you know what is transitive verb? Yes, verb has two different types of the classification: transitive verb and intransitive verb. I told you that verb has two forms, transitive and intransitive verb. Okay, so let us know about the transitive and intransitive verb right now. The first one is transitive verb. Transitive verb means verb that is followed by an object. Verb, it is followed by an object, means in the sentence it has the direct object. It has the direct object. Verb with no object. In the case of intransitive verb, it doesn't have any direct object. Okay, a verb with no object is known as intransitive verb, and it never tells who received the actions of the verb. It doesn't have any direct object, and it doesn't mention about who is the receiver. It doesn't mention about the receiver of the action. I don't want to discuss about the transitive and the intransitive verb. What is our ultimate intention? That is to focus only the active voice and passive voice. Transitive verb has two forms. Further it classified into two, and it has two forms: active voice and passive voice. So let us discuss about the active voice and passive voice. We are going to discuss about the active voice and passive voice. So before that, I hope you have learned the structure of the statement properly. Okay, so transitive verb has two voices. We already discussed about that. The transitive verb has two voices. The first one is active voice and the second one is passive voice. Okay, active voice, subject is the agent of the action. The subject has direct object. Okay, then passive voice, subject is the sufferer of the action. In the case of passive voice, subject is the sufferer of the action. So let us discuss how to identify passive and active. Conversions of active to passive, passive to active voice, vice versa. Okay, so the conversion, the object in active voice becomes subject in passive voice. The object of the statement, it changed to the subject of the statement. Okay, in the case of passive voice. Okay, the past participle form of the verb is used in passive voice. Which form of the verb that you can use? Past participle form of the verb, that is verb third form. Okay, next one is The subject of the active changes from subjective case to objective case. The subject of the active changes from subjective case to objective case. Subjective case to objective case. The transformation I will tell you. We have lots of examples over here in the case of passive voice. So let's discuss the subjective case to objective case. These all are the changes that will happen subjective case to objective case. I change to me. He is the subject. Objective case, that is the him. She changed to her. Okay. You change to you itself. They change to them. We to us. Who, whom. I repeat once again. In the case of subjective case, this is the subjective case and this is the objective case. Okay. Subject changed to object. I changed to me. He changed to him. She changed to her. You changed to you itself, because there is no change at all. Okay. They, them, we, us, who, whom. Okay. The next one is sentences in each tense forms. Yeah, it's very convenient. I hope you understood very well the tense structures properly, because even if you see the statement, you will have to know that, you will know that which tense form it is. Next one is sentences in each tense form are transformed into passive in a characteristic way. Means I told you earlier that it's very compulsory to learn the tense structures properly, because it has lots of changes in it. Because I tell you, while transforming the statement from active to passive voice, you need to take care of the helping verbs. Before that, even if you want to add the helping verbs, appropriate helping verbs, you need to find out the statement, whether it is in present, past or future tense. And we have learned different tense forms and their structures properly. So accordingly, we need to use the helping verbs also. You get me? That's why it says that sentences in each tense forms are transformed into passive in a characteristics way. This also has its own transformation from active to passive voice. Okay? I'll give you one example. Then you can. Don't worry, my dear children, because I'm going to write one example over here. From that you can understand. Okay? The principal presented the report. Okay, you just remember the first use. The subject changed to object and the object changed to the subject. Okay, so the principal presented the report. When you are getting this kind of statement, at first what are things that you need to take care? Okay, so first you need to check out that whether it is in simple present, past or future tense. Yes, it is in past tense, because how to identify? We need to check out the verbs of the statement. Okay, so presented over here, so this is did form, that is the second form of the verb. So obviously you can treat it as in the form of simple past. Okay, so that is over. Okay, we identified the tense structure or the tense. Okay, next we are going to transform the statement. Okay, in the case of, this is the active voice. In the case of passive, do you remember the transformation? Yes, object comes at first, at the beginning. Who is the object over here? The principal is the subject. Okay, this is the object and this is the verb. Okay, SVO. Object comes at the beginning of the statement. Yes, the report. The report. The report is singular or plural? Yes, singular. Okay, so can you remember the past helping verbs? Do you remember the past helping verbs? Was or were? If the statement, the subject of the statement takes singular, you need to use was. If it takes plural, you need to use were. Okay. So the report is singular, so you can use was. Okay. Object, helping verbs, was. Then second use, yes, we need to use the past participle form of the verb. That is a verb third form. Okay. The report was present, presented, presented. Okay. Again, presented. Then we need to use by in the case of passive voice. By, presented by whom it has presented the report, by whom the report was presented. Yes, the principal. Okay, so look at the statement. Object of the statement comes as a subject in the passive voice. Okay, then we need to take care of the helping verbs. Then past participle form of the verb. Then by plus the subject. Okay, so in the case of passive voice, object comes at the beginning of the statement, means object change to the subjective case and the subject change to the objective case. Then helping verbs, then past participle form of the verb, and by plus object. You get me? If I continue the transformation from active voice to passive voice in the case of the tenses, in the case of different tense forms, you will be getting confused. So better to stop right now and we'll continue the transformation from active to passive in the next module. I'm going to wind up the session. I hope you understand. Till then, bye and take care.